Good afternoon, everybody, and good Wednesday. No mistake, Janome asked me to help them because they needed me. Oh, I'm happy. I like to do this. Even if I'm not that good, I like to do it anyway. I feel I have so many friends out there. I thank you for watching. So my name is Celine and I'm an educator for Janome Canada. And today we will sew elastic with the serger. You see my setup, and with the sewing machine. Any model of serger or sewing machine. Even if I show you on the 82000D, it doesn't mean you can't do it. You can do it, okay? You just need the right attachment or foot attachment. I think it's more an attachment. Okay, so I'll switch the camera and we'll go to the serger first. Okay, so here's the machine. And to attach elastic, you need the elastic gathering attachment. It's an attachment. It's not a foot because I use the regular foot here. So when you buy a foot, as usual, at the back you have a short instruction, and it says instruction for use on inside of the card. So I'll pull this out. I'll remove the foot, the attachment I should say, and you have a better instruction here. Okay, more detailed. So maybe you'll follow this, maybe you prefer what I'm doing. We'll see. Okay, so what I need, this attachment, is for elastic narrow. The narrowest is 3.5 millimeter, okay, up to 8 millimeter, no wider than this. Wider, it's another technique, okay? Smallest, widest. Okay? So, if you don't use this, if you use something wider than 8 millimeter, you will end up with a problem like this. You see, it was too wide and it stays, it doesn't move because of the pressure on the elastic. It doesn't move, so stitch in place and it's a mess. So no wider than 8 millimeter. That's number one. Number two, because it is narrow, you want to sew inside the elastic. You don't want a casing, you want to sew the elastic. So let me show you here. This one I changed the color, every thread, upper looper, lower looper, I changed the color just to show. You see my elastic? Okay. And I'm sewing inside the elastic. I'm sewing on, not inside, on the elastic. You see my seam here? But maybe I made a mistake. Maybe I'm doing a casing, you see? Right after my elastic, my stitch is there. It gathers a little bit, yes, but with time, the elastic will go in and you'll have no more elasticity. So you have to sew on the elastic like this one here, right here, okay? So to do this, you need your machine 3-thread narrow, okay? So narrow means left needle position, right needle position. Oh, sorry, no, like this. I'm sorry. I'm trying to, or maybe like this. You'll see better. Yes. Okay. So you see, I have two needles in. The left needle and the right needle. I have to remove a needle. Your knife is here. So this is 3-thread wide. And this is closer to the knife, so it's 3-thread narrow. I have to remove my left needle. In the accessory box, you have almost all the model. I have a little screwdriver because the screws are very small here. And you have this accessory. So this, sorry. So on this side of the accessories, you know, you have the shape of a needle right in the front, flat at the back. This is to hold your needle. You don't want the needle fall inside your, go, in front of the people, go. Hey, okay, so it fell, I'm okay. This is to hold it because you don't want the needle falls in here. And then you have to open the door and try to fold it. So this is the purpose of the end of the needle threader. And see, the flat is at the back, flat. And when you want to insert it, it helps you, instead of using your hand and you have no room and it's tight, you insert your needle and you attach the needle. When you remove a needle, make sure you screw back this one. If it's too loose, with the vibration, it's gonna fall. Okay, so you're okay. 3-thread narrow, small screwdriver, and 3-thread narrow, I'm okay. I leave my tension at 3, and I don't want the stitches and the thread goes on top of the other, and I will stretch my elastic. So if I want to prevent this, stitch length maximum. Yes, it tells you up to 4. Go to the maximum of your machine, trust me. Then you'll have a nice stitch, not one thread on top of the other, you know. And when you put elastic, never differential feed. You never put differential feed, so it has to be at 1. 1 means neutral, okay? So stitch length and differential feed, no differential feed, even. Another thing I like to do, on this machine, this is the pressure for the foot. The foot is the lift at the back, huh? So I want my elastic goes easily at the back, so I release it a little bit, okay? You see neutral or normal, maybe. You want to tighten or you want to release it, and you have a few degree, but I'll release it just a little bit because I'll put pressure on the foot, huh? So you say, my serger doesn't have this. Every serger has a release or a tighten pressure, but maybe it's not a button like this. Maybe it's round in metal here, and you have to put your screwdriver to tight or release the pressure. If you want to, if you say, oh, that's why I saw this, I didn't know what it was. Well, you didn't open your instruction book. Okay. Now, how to attach my attachment. You look at this, oh la la, how it is going. You have to open the side door. Okay. And there is a screw. Now you need the big screwdriver. Okay. The big one here. To loose that screw, you want to loose it because you need a space to slide this in. You see the fork here? Here, the fork. Slide this in. Did you see it coming? And then, the camera is in front of me. It's between the screwdriver and the... You know what? I'll do it with my right hand. I hope I'll be better. Hold on. Okay. Okay, I attach it. So it's strong, it's in place, you see? Okay, no problem, it's not moving, it's solid. And notice I have a space here. So the attachment is a bit higher. Why? To give me some space when I will sew. Whoops, see? My door is open, hold on. Ah. See? To give me space to leave the fabric, and now I have many thicknesses, but I will sew the elastic on only one thickness. Okay? So I'm ready to sew. First thing I'm doing, I'm going to open this here to see better, number one, and number two, to insert my elastic. The elastic, I need just one part. I'll leave it on the, I'll let it go, you know, on the, not on the floor, but close. Okay, and I have a long piece of fabric here because I want to do the same thing all the way down for, and you'll see the difference with the screw tighten. Okay, so what I like to do first is make sure, I hope you see well, more light here. I still have my light luminous. No, I think I'm okay here. And I'll pull my oh yes, a little bit with my nice lamp, luminous lamp. Okay. Oh yeah, you see well. Okay. So I anchor my fabric with just 2-3 stitches. And if you want, you don't have to go at the back and lift the presser foot. You can just lift it from here and bring it to the needle. Okay? I will do a few stitches just to anchor it. Oh, it's not at a good position. Okay, it's not so wait. Okay, I'm okay. Just to lock it. And then here, it's important. You have a screw here. This has 2 functions. This will give pressure on the elastic to be able to stretch it. Okay, and also it's a casing. You see the white? Yeah, I'm okay. You see, I want my elastic stays inside what is white. If I don't attach it here, if I don't do this, let it say it's loose. When I'll sew, see, it's going to move inside. I don't want this. I want it to stay into place. Attach it, slide it, and attach it. And then, okay, it's in place. Then lock the mechanism here. Okay? I'm all set, ready to go. What I want to do, I want to cut the excess of fabric and do not cut the elastic. And I'm sure I don't have any stretch now. So I will sew. You know you have to make a sample always, huh? So I'm sewing, okay? And I see I have no stretch. So I will tighten the screw until I'm happy. Not enough. More. I see at the back. More. Oh, I'm pleased with it. Is it too much? No, not too much. So I want to sew in my elastic. This is what I'm doing. So you see? Okay. So when I'm happy with the amount of stretch, then I just go. You see? I'm almost doing nothing. I'm not pulling, I just let it go. I'm almost at the end. I'm going to exaggerate with the tension. You'll see the difference. Okay, I'll cut this. Okay, this was my beginning with almost no pressure here. More. Look at this. Look how even it is. Look at this. And at the end, I really give it more stretchy. See the difference between a lot of stretch, less. Okay. So I'm attaching an elastic. Now, let's say you want to do a garment and you need a specific length. Well, this is not the right foot. You still have to take the measurement and remove a quarter of the elastic, the amount of the elastic, and then notch on notch, you know, you will stretch the elastic from one to the other one to give, like I'm going to do in the next sample, okay? But why do I need this then? Let's say I want to do a fitted sheet. First of all, I will use a thicker, a wider elastic, okay? This is so thin that it will always flip over. It's flipping over, you know, when it's too thin. So I apply the elastic, and if I want, after I'm going on a sewing machine, I'm going to top stitch it, but this is later. So if I want, I can use a wider elastic, and I'm doing the fitted sheet all the way around. And what the advantage of this? Well, I don't have to pull. I don't even have to bother with it, number one. And then my stretch will be even all the time, always the same amount. So I'm saying fitted sheet. I'm saying something in circle like a hoop, you know, and you want to put an elastic to do ooh la la, I don't know how to say. I don't know the word in English, but something that you don't have to calculate the amount of elasticity, just looking and says, okay, I like it on this fabric. So this one here is the one that controls the pulling. It pushes the upper part to the bottom part. It squeezes it in between and gives more or less, it pushes more or less to give the elasticity. Okay? Let's say you don't have, you need really a number. I'll remove that attachment. Okay, remove everything, huh? Why I cannot make my foot control go? The door was open. So this machine has a sensor. If my foot is up, the machine doesn't work. If this is open, my machine doesn't work. And if this is not closed good, my machine doesn't work. So it's like a protector to do something, to prevent to do something wrong. Okay? So let's say, like I'm doing here, for the next demo, I don't need the foot. But you see, I already prepare. Am I too close? I already prepare something. Okay? I divided my length into 4 equal parts. And this time, my measurement is controlling the stretch of the elastic. So at the beginning, I'm starting. So again, I didn't touch my tension. My stitch length is at 5. My no differential feed 1.0 is neutral. And I release a little bit the pressure foot. Okay? So, of course, I don't sew over the pins. Huh? And you see, I just pull, am I too close? I just pull to flat the elastic on the fabric. And I'm cutting the excess of fabric, but not the elastic. You're trying, huh? If you cut once in a while a little bit, it's not so bad. But if you really cut all the time your elastic, now it's going to be weak. So what I do is, let's say a close-up like this. So you see, my knife is cutting the excess of fabric, and my elastic is against the knife. The knife is the part that is moving. I want to go on a straight line. I don't need this. You don't sew over the pins, huh? Because you'll cry. Up to here. It's easier when you make a garment than just a little sample. Okay, so you see, instead of doing a casing, look at this, right sides together, okay, and the elastic is attached. This is the right side and this is the wrong side. If you want, you say, hey, I don't want to see this through my lace. Well, you can top stitch it by putting this up. Then you have to go on a sewing machine. So I showed you how to sew an elastic on the serger 2 different ways. Now we'll go on a sewing machine. I'll turn the camera to the other machine. Okay. And I will pull my nice luminous over the work. Okay. Oh, and I have extra light here. I'm using the 15,000, but like I say, any machine. So how do I sew an elastic on a sewing machine? I'm sorry. You have to use the F1 or F2, one or the other. Okay, your taste, the one that you prefer. And put down, and I anchor my needle. And then you have to measure the length you need. I'll just go by eye just to show you how I'm doing this, okay? And you cannot sew with a straight stitch. You need a zigzag. So zig, zag, zig, zag. The zag has to be outside of the elastic. So we'll need to adjust. I'm sorry, the wire is not long enough. Okay, like this, you see well. So I'm choosing a zigzag, and I don't want my stitches be too short, and I would like to have a nice wide, not too wide. I want to cover my elastic. Okay, so I'll do a little test to see if I like it. Whoa, 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 go. I pull too fast. Okay. Okay, it's not wide enough. I'll go up to 5. Okay. Remember, I want my needle. I'll go slow. Okay. Up. See? I hope you see well. My needle is outside the elastic. And this is what I want. Okay? Then I'm sewing. Again. I choose a fabric with lines, so at least I'll sew straight, or as straight as I can. So you see, I have a little bit extra of fabric on the right. Whoops. You'll see why. Okay, cut the thread, lift, thread holder as usual. Okay, and then I'll take my scissors. Then you have an extra job to do. You see, you don't want that at the back. See, it's not, you don't want this. And you see my elastic, the way it's sewn? So one stitch inside, one after. In, out, zig, zag, zig, zag. Okay? So the extra step you have to do with the sewing machine is you have to cut the excess of fabric if you want to do a nice job. Huh? I'll cut half of the length here. I'll cut half of the work, and I will top stitch, and you'll see why I cut it. So this is one of the difference between, with the serger, you don't have to do this extra work. Well, we're good workers, so we can do it, but oh, it's so nice with the serger. So then I have to top stitch. You see, I don't want to wear my skirt like this, huh? I want to wear it like that. Okay? So I'm going to top stitch with straight stitch, stitch length 3.5 at least. Okay, and I'm going to, okay, I'm okay, and then fold it, pull to remove the wrinkle and the elasticity, and I'm sewing again. I'm sewing, and up to the end. Okay, yeah. Okay, cut the thread, and let's see if I did a good job. So this is the right side, okay, and this is the wrong side. See how nice and clean and even it is here? See here? You don't want that, you know, this is a nicer finish here. So the extra work is you have to cut the excess of fabric after the elastic without cutting the sewing thread, for sure, huh? Without cutting the zag. Okay, you knew this, huh? Zig, zag out. In, zig, zag out. Okay, so this is how to put narrow elastic on a sewing machine. Narrow elastic. Wide elastic is different. It's not the purpose of the class today. I should say a demo today. It's not a class, huh? Because during a class you have to do it. Okay, now I'm coming back on the other machine. Don't feel dizzy. Sorry about the stand. So now I'm moving my luminous lamp. Okay, something on the market. You have stretch thread. So the difference with the stretch thread is it's not twisted. If I show it to you, to something clean. So you see how fuzzy it is? It's not twisted, okay? And it has a little bit of stretch. Not much, just enough. So it's 100% polyester. Maybe you say, oh, it's like woolly nylon. Well, this one is woolly poly. So what's the difference between woolly poly and woolly nylon? Poly you can iron. Nylon is dangerous. It has more stretch, but it is dangerous because it burns under the iron. Huh? So this is, and Janome has that, Madeira Aeroflock. So I have a navy blue here because I want to show you something after. So you say, hey Celine, we know that thread, but it's hard to thread because, you see, some thread is going in and some is going beside the looper. Okay, well, okay, I believe you, but I'll show you something. Okay, just a little trick. Needle up. Do you know how to unthread your chain? This is the chain here, huh? Foot up. Hold the chain in your hand and remove the needle thread. And then I'm going to remove this looper thread because I want to show you how to attach that fuzzy thread. Fuzzy. One hint is you attach a regular thread to it. Okay? And then you'll pull, when you thread by hand, not with air, you pull until after the eye of the looper. That's one choice, and I'll show you with the air thread. Air thread or manual is the same, just one is doing the work for you. And also, this is sliding because it's not rough like a regular thread. You see, it's more soft and sometimes it cuts. This is why you have those net in your when you use decorative stitches or fancy thread or fussy thread, or so you use these net. It's like a little girdle. We don't wear them anymore, but we put them over our thread. Okay, so I put it in. I'll have no, you want to prevent all the bad thing. And then I push it in. Okay? Then on top, whoops, I'm telling you I need 4 hands. I remove this, I don't need, because the opening is not the same. Put it there. Okay? And now you thread your machine. Here, you always thread your machine the foot up. Okay, and I'm going to use my hair threader. If you don't have it, just follow whatever, just follow your regular threading. Okay, so you see, it's right here. Okay, it's finished. Now what I have to do, just pull, it's finished. Okay, and then you keep going. It's in the eye of the needle. And you just need to add a little bit of help with a regular thread. Okay, so you say, oh well, for the price I pay, I want to the whole thing done with the machine. It's funny, I had a class last evening, and her name is Diane, and I put my thread in my needle without using this. She's a student and she corrected me. She said, hey, you didn't use your needle threader. And she was right. Okay, now I'm showing you how to air thread with this, right with the fussy thread. I pump once to see if it's going. Yes, it's going to go. Watch it coming. Here we go. So even this thread, you can use air thread. But, we have big fingers, and if I don't have air thread, if I have to thread manually, well, maybe the end, you see how fuzzy it is, how big it is. So sometimes, one strand, it's going its way, and you're stuck and you cannot thread. So use that little trick to attach a regular thread to your fuzzy thread. Fuzzy. Okay? And Oh, what a mess here, huh? So when you sew, you can't help that. It's messy. So not dirty, messy. So it's totally different. And Janome Canada, anyway, is a distributor of Madeira thread. And when you buy a serger, you know, you have to, you need thread. So this is one package that Janome Canada offers. I'm saying Canada, I'm not sure if in the US. So you have 4 thread of white, gray, white, black, 4 of each. And if you say, no, this is not enough for me, then you buy the big one. Wait, so far. So then you buy the big one from Madeira, and you have more color, variety of color, and 4 of each. So it depends on you what you need, and of course, oh, I don't like that stand. Okay, of course you have your instruction book with the optional feet at the back, and owner's workbook for the air thread serger. I don't have one for another serger, another model. I don't think they made it. I think this Janome start to do it with this serger, with this new serger. So if I'm saying something wrong, they will tell me. Don't worry. They would, and I will let you know. Whoops, sorry. Okay, so look at the mess. But at least you learned something. Okay, so I'll change the camera. I tried to do 30 minutes. I'm up to 36 minutes. You want to do it, but you have to show. Hey, 5 minutes more or less. Huh? Okay, so now I'm finished for the week, for the lives, not for the teaching here. And I wish you a good week. I'll see you next Tuesday. And tomorrow it's St. Patrick. So I hope you're going to have a nice day and a nice celebration, everybody. So have a good weekend. Bye-bye, everybody.